I ain't been live in so long. I didn't know if anybody was gonna show up. Nah, YouTube be doing folks. YouTube doing everybody dirty now. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped going live. Is because YouTube is not um giving out notifications like they're supposed to. Who is that? Phyllis, girl. They go my Phyllis. Hey, girl. I ain't seen you in a minute, Phyllis. You know, I had to come on and talk about this um, Derek Chauvin situation since the sentencing was today. And um, it was interesting because during the sentencing process, the family gets a chance to come on and talk about the impact that the person's death has caused them, the impact of the, what happened, like the trauma. Like that family will never, ever be the same. Never. I mean, you're never the same after a loved one is killed. Um, Unfortunately, I've had a few people in my family who were killed, and their murders didn't even make it to trial because their killers were never caught by, the criminal justice system. Now, trust and believe, you never get away with killing someone. There's a debt that has to be paid when you take someone's life. You have to pay that. Now you gonna either pay it here on this side, or you gonna pay when you get to glory, or wherever the in between, whatever. If you don't pay here, like my mama used to always say, you gonna pay on the front end or you gonna pay on the back end. And some people will pay both. And so that's what's going on with Chauvin. He is going to pay here with his 22 and a half years. He's going to pay on the front end, and he's going to pay on the back end. Because when he gets to where he's going and he stands before the creator, he's going to have to pay again. Because what he did was intentional. His that wasn't an accident. You didn't accidentally hurt, kill George Floyd. That wasn't an accident. That was on purpose. There's no way that he can say, "Oh, well, I didn't mean to kill him." No, you meant that. You were trying to kill him, and you did. So for that alone, you must pay. And I think a lot of us get so caught up with people paying so that we can see them. But some of that is not for us to see, but it's for us to understand that that payment will take place. It's going to happen. And it's not for you to always see. Just like when you and your siblings got in trouble, your parents didn't whip your siblings in front of you. They normally whipped them in private. You knew they was getting their butt whipped, but you didn't normally see all of it. But you knew it was happening. That's kind of how this situation is. He's gonna get it. Okay? There's no way that you can do something so heinous and not be punished. Because, see, the judicial system is not meant for police officers to be punished. It never was. Like, these laws will have to completely be abolished and rewritten. It's not meant for police officers to be punished because they're doing the job that they think they're supposed to be out here doing. And however they do it is how they do it. And if someone loses their life in the process, they just lost their life in the process. And, they just keep going. But see, we're living in more of a social media age now. Everybody has a camera, everybody has a phone, everybody has a way to record everything. Black people have been getting abused and beat and killed at the hands of police officers. It's just that now those things are being recorded and people are seeing them. And when you see it, it's a difference in hearing someone was killed. When you read something in the newspaper, you don't really get the full effect. But when you see someone being basically smothered to death with your own eyes for over 9 minutes, it makes a huge impact on that situation. So this is just one situation that, impacted the world basically. This situation went everywhere. It wasn't just Minnesota. It wasn't just the US. Like, it went everywhere. It touched people all over the whole world. And had I been Derek Chauvin's mother, I wouldn't have said anything because there's nothing that you can say when your child kills someone. There's nothing that you can say that is going to sound appropriate for that situation. And for her to say, well, me and your dad may not be here, basically, like we may not be alive after you serve your sentence. So basically, he shouldn't have to serve that much time because I don't want to die with my son in jail. Well, George Floyd's family didn't want to lose him either. Like, to see men, George Floyd's brothers, get up and, cry, not be able to even have words to describe the way that they, were feeling, just to hear the sorrow and grief and anguish in their voices was enough to hurt me as a mother. And for his mother to get up there, Chauvin's mother, to get up there and basically say, it's still people out here believing that you're innocent, and I still believe in your innocence, and I still love you, and there's nothing like a mother's love. True, there is nothing like a mother's love, but your son murdered someone in cold blood. I couldn't have gotten up there and just said anything. Like, my heart would not have allowed me to get up there and say that. I would have, like, wrote my son a letter and been like, I'll be at the trial, but I'm not going to speak because that's going to put me, it's going to make me, she made herself look like the victim instead of George Floyd's family and George Floyd. He was the victim, not you. And then Chauvin, you know, he did say, well, you know, I want to send condolences to the family, but that was basically it. So I don't know if, you know, I'm pretty sure, because at the end they did say that they're pretty sure his attorneys told him not to, you know, he can't admit guilt because I guess he's probably going to appeal. So he does have to be careful, you know, what he says. Um, so he didn't say much, but he did say, um, I want to send condolences to the family. But when you look at stuff like this, you know, as a parent, as a person of color, you just realize that no matter how we, you know, no matter how much technology advances and how much we advance as you know, a world or advance as people, is still a huge divide between people of color and other people. A huge divide. And when things like this happen, like, of course, we wanted, you know, we wanted the judge to throw the book at Chauvin. That was what we want. You know, like, we really wanted Chauvin up under the jailhouse. But I knew that that wasn't going to happen. Especially when the judge took the stand and was basically like, the family has my condolences, but check this out. I'm not ruling off of emotion. You know, I have to go by the law. And of course, the law is not in the favor of us, period. You know, the law is not in our favor. And I just wish that we as black people would stop wanting and, you know, having these high expectations of white America in the judicial system, because it's not for us. Stop wanting to get your, you know, thinking that you're going to get just rewards or you're going to be treated just like everybody else, because you're not. You want God to, God is the judge. The final judgment comes from God. You put this in the hands of the creator, because man is always going to disappoint you. You will always be disappointed, wanting judgment from man. Your feelings are always going to be hurt. You have to understand that God, the creator, is the last judge. It's up to him to serve. What he feels is judgment. Because our emotions are attached to this situation so hard. We want him to feel the level of hurt that we feel. White people will never understand the level of hurt that black people have been through and are constantly going through. They will never understand that. For one, they don't want to understand it, because it, you know, it shows them in such a negative light that, of course, you don't want to understand that. They don't want to. So y'all have to stop looking at it like, oh yeah, this gonna be the time that it's, no, it's not. It's never, you're never going to get what you want in these situations, because it's not designed like that. And especially people that, consider themselves on a different level spiritually, you need to be the main one understanding that this is not what you thought it was going to be. It never will be. And it's not even supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. You have to heal and move on knowing that whatever is supposed to happen is in God's hands and it will happen. No one gets away with taking someone else's life. Now, it may seem like the person then got away and, oh, they just out here living. No, they're not. You in debt. You are in a spiritual debt. And every night, probably, ain't no telling what ancestors of George Floyd's is coming to sit beside Derek Chauvin every night. You don't know what's going on. That man is probably so tormented in his soul. Of course, he's not going to, he ain't going to tell us what's going on, but he's probably so tormented and tortured in his soul. He probably is not even sleeping at night. Because them ancestors is probably sitting at the foot of his bed, singing and chanting and everything else. You don't know what's going on with him spiritually. And to me, that's more important than him getting 30 years in jail, is him being tormented spiritually. Because that's where you get no rest. You get no rest. At least if you sitting up in jail, you ain't got nothing to do. You could just, lay around. You just chilling. But if them ancestors is coming for you gets no rest. Your peace of mind is gone forever. Because the two people, I'm gonna tell you guys this story. My father was murdered when I was 2 years old. And the two people that everyone in my family believes did the murder, they have never rested. They have been drug addicts, they have been alcoholics. One of the people is now deceased. The other person is very sick mentally and physically. And the weird thing is the person tried to get the other person on their deathbed to admit to killing my father, and they wouldn't do it. So that kind of left the debt on the person that is still alive. And that person is just all over the place. That's the ancestors dealing with them here, and will deal with them when they do finally cross over. And I have watched them for years because I know who it is. When I was younger, I had so much hatred in my heart for both of these people. It took me a long time to heal. And when I look at George Floyd's daughter, because her father's case was so big, so much in the media, this child is going to grow up and eventually see and understand that video. When I got older, the only thing that I had was stories from people about what they think happened. because no one is really sure except for the three people that were there. My father being deceased, he made it to the hospital, but he wasn't able to talk and tell the police what happened because he couldn't speak. So it was three people there. One person, well, my father's deceased, and then one of the other people are now deceased. So it's only one person left. And sometimes I wonder, like on this person's deathbed, will they confess? Since they wanted the other person to confess. So, George Floyd's daughter will grow up worse than what I did. Wondering why would they do that? You know, and she will be able to see the video. That will never go away. That George Floyd's death is part of our history now. So that's something that she will never go, like, you never get over that. You never get over that. And when I look at Derek Chauvin, he just has this look like he really don't care. He really looked like, why am I here? Because I ain't do nothing. I shouldn't even be sitting here. He really has the look in his eyes. With the mask on, you can't see like his complete facial expressions, but the look in his eyes is just like, I shouldn't be here. Why am I here? I mean, just stupid. If I kill somebody, I couldn't just be in the courtroom just looking around. Like, I probably would like have my head down. I couldn't kill anybody though. I just couldn't do that. Like, I just don't have the heart to kill somebody unless they trying to kill me or somebody in my family or something like that. You trying to save your own life is different, but you killing somebody that is already handcuffed, and then you looking around like, I could be at home right now. No, y'all. Let me look at some of y'all comments. I ain't gonna be on here long. Paris says she ain't been here in 2 years. It's been that long? So Hardin54 says, thank God for the 22 and a half years for Chauvin. And also he has two federal cases that can add more jail time to the 22 years. Hey, the Dark Goddess. Life wasn't on for second degree murder. I guess life isn't on the table. Thank you, Reb Mom. She says she loved my hair. No, I doubt if he commits suicide. Hey, Life with Us TV. I doubt very much if he commits suicide. I can't see him doing that because he don't even look like he care. Why would he commit suicide? he's hoping that he does some years and then they let him out on good behavior. That's what he hoping for. That man ain't gonna commit suicide. Right. 22 years. There are people serving this for trumped up weed charges. Right. Weed and cocaine and stuff. It's people serving life sentences for stupid three strikes. And the three strikes be over like a stolen car, some weed, and maybe some cocaine. And they in there serving straight up life sentences. And you got somebody that killed a whole person in front of the whole world, basically. But like I said, the system is not designed for us. Like our life don't mean nothing to these people. Not nothing whatsoever. Our life means nothing. And we have to stop expecting them to care about, like, we really got to get out of that mindset and stop expecting the judges and the court system to defend us in these type of situations and pray that God defends us. Because what does seeing him in jail for life really do for us? Nothing. Like, I want him to be tortured spiritually. I don't care about him sitting in some jail cell. I want him to be tortured. When he closes his eyes at night, I don't want him to see nothing but George Floyd and George Floyd's ancestors. I want George Floyd's ancestors to be sitting in the room with him every night, keeping him up all night long, running that blood pressure up. That's what I want. I don't depend on the judicial system to help us out. I don't even care what goes on this side of the world. I want you to be tortured. I want your spirit to be not at rest ever on this side, and when you make it to meet your creator. I want the creator to be like, "Oh, so you out here killing people? Oh, I got something for you. Oh, so you like to put your foot on people's necks? Okay, we got a room just for you. We was waiting on you at the door. So you come on in here. That's what I want. The rest of that, the rest of it is just a show. You know what I mean? Like, they have to go through the formalities. They, have to read the sentencing and do all this kind of stuff. And now I'm pretty sure he can file an appeal, probably either at the end of the day or by Monday. His attorney has filed an appeal, to reduce the sentence. They have so many formalities that they have to go through. So who cares about all that stuff? I don't even care about that because I'm not even, I wasn't even expecting 22 years. Like, I was expecting like 10 at the most, because I know how this world is set up, and I don't even care about that. Like, I really don't. I just, when I see people do stuff like that, I want them to be tortured. That's how I look at it. And I know all of us look at things differently, but that's my thing. Torture him. Don't let him sleep at night, ever. Run that blood pressure up. Because he's not one of those type of people that I would think would harm himself, because He don't even look like he feel like he did anything wrong. He have that look like, why am I here? What? Okay, what time is this over? He don't look like he think he did anything wrong. So why would he take his own life? He ain't gonna take his life. I never got that from him. Mm-mm. People that take their own life in these type of situations, they do that because they don't want to serve out. They know they did wrong, and they don't want to serve out the time. Derek don't think he did anything wrong. He just going through the formalities. He like, well, all right, well, I'm gonna be here for 22 and a half years then. Hopefully my attorney can get some of this time taken off. They probably in the back room now talking about how they can, they gonna try to fight to get some of the time taken off. So it is what it is. I mean, I just hope that other police officers look at this situation and don't want their life to be like Derek Chauvin's, because they are going to have to keep him um, segregated from general population. They gonna have to, because anytime he gets out in the regular population with people, somebody gonna try him. So he's always going to be protected. But see, what's gonna happen is he gonna get to a jail and he gonna meet up on some of these officers that don't care, and they'll let somebody go in, you know, don't hurt him bad, but y'all gone in there and give him the once over. It's gonna slip up. They couldn't do it now because he going to trial, and they didn't want him to go to trial all beat up, and but now that this trial is over, somebody gonna get him. Somebody is definitely gonna get him. Christopher said, my grandmother told me a story that a man she knew had killed someone. He told her, you never want to kill anyone because you see them when you sleep, when you eat, when you see them everywhere you go. I believe that. I do. And that's how it should be. That's exactly how it should be. Your ancestors should come and torture and torment that killer until they transition. Your ancestors allowed the person, like George Floyd is resting. He don't have to do no work. He is resting. But I bet you he got some ancestors that's like, you go on and sleep. We got this. They do. And I hope every night, every time he attempts to close his eyes, somebody come and wake him up. It'd be like one of them Groundhog Day type situations, like he's living the same day for the rest of his life. That's the kind of stuff I hope for, because I know that the judicial system is, only going to do so much. So I'm not, banking on what they do. I'm banking on, what's going to happen spiritually. And it don't matter if he believe it, or a lot of people are like, well, you have to believe for certain things to happen. No, that's not true. It don't matter if he believe it. So that's it, y'all. um He got 22 and a half years, and his family has the rest of their lives. You know, if you really think about it, like his daughter is, you know, George Floyd's daughter is very young. In 22 years, will she be 30 when he gets out? Because he'll be in his 60s, you know, 60, you, depending on what your health is like, you can still live some productive years. Now, like his mother said, his, you know, when he gets out, his parents may be gone, or, you know, they may be very elderly or whatever, but you still got enough time to live out the rest of your life. It's not like he's going to die in prison unless something happens. So it is what, and you know what was funny to me was the way that they made, you know, him seem like he had 16, either 16 or 19 years on the force, and you know he never got, was a decorated officer. And there are other incidences, like he hit a 14-year-old with his, either with his baton or with the flashlight in the head. So he did have other um incidents. This is just the first time that he kills someone, you know. But of course, they, you know, have to make him look like an upstanding police officer. And I don't even understand with a straight face how, you know, someone can say that after you clearly murdered someone in front of the whole world. Like, you're no longer an upstanding officer. So that's that, y'all. That part is over. And, you know, now the family has to um, close this chapter and, you know, try to heal, try to move on with their new normal. At least this part of it is over. Because, you know, like his brother said, while the trial was going on, you know, it was like they were reliving the murder every day. Seeing the pictures and, you know, the videos of their brother being killed every day. So now that the trial is over, they can finally go into healing mode. So that's it. I probably will post another video today because I know that this one will be demonetized because YouTube doesn't want you to gear your content to children, but when you gear your content to adults, they demonetize that content. So it's kind of hard to um, find that balance because as adults, we want to be able to speak on adult themed content, but that adult themed content will um, is not advertiser friendly, so it gets demonetized. So I probably will post just a regular video later on today. I'm not gonna post it right now. I'll wait till later because now that the a few of y'all did get a notification, now I'm gonna have to wait till things kind of like calm down or whatever, so you can be notified again. Like this YouTube thing, child, is crazy as I don't know what. It really is. So that's it. I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Oh, you showing legs, huh?
Yeah, I just want to be comfortable.
All right. All right,
All right, babe.
legs. You gone?
Mm-hmm.
Did you fix the salad? You know there's salad out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
You gonna come back?
Yeah.
Well, call me because I might want you to bring me some Taco Bell. After I just said, did you fix the salad? Call me.
All right.
Um, my husband going to work. Um, yeah. So I hope you guys have a nice weekend. Um, I don't think we're going house hunting this weekend. I don't think we have any places that we want to look at. The housing market is still crazy here in the Bay Area. Like, the places will go on the market today, and by Monday, they're already pending. That means that someone has already put an offer down on the place. And the majority of places, they are putting offers 20,000, 50,000 more than the asking price. And some of those places don't be worth putting down that much more than asking. Not to me. So, we're still looking and hoping that the um, the market will slow down, or whatever's going through right now, it'll stop because it's crazy. But I mean, we're enjoying the process of looking. Some of the homes that we have been in, some of them were older homes. And just to see the difference in, the more modern building style compared to the older styles is interesting. Because when you go into a place and they got a green bathtub, I'm sorry. I can't do nothing with that. I'm not I'm just not going to be able to deal with a green bathtub. Like that would have to come out. And I don't think that's really being picky. Like I don't want a green and pink bathroom. Those are not my colors. But it looks like in the 70s that was like that must have been in like this green tile, green bath. I don't know, child. So yeah, it's interesting to see like how some people will, at least update the place, and then some people are like, you know what? I don't care. I really don't. Because we went to one place and the owners were still there in the house while we were walking around looking. And it's like you don't want to look at just be going looking all in people's kitchen and in their bedrooms and they're there like looking at you looking. It was just so like that was uncomfortable. And we didn't know that the owners were going to be there. Like we thought the house was empty. But when we got there, the realtor was like, "Oh, do you mind that the owner is still here?" I was like, In the house?" And she was like, "Yeah, they haven't moved yet." And we go in the house. They didn't put the dogs in the garage. The dogs is barking. The owner, like the man, was sitting like at the dining room table, and the wife, you know, was just looking. That was uncomfortable. I mean, for me, I would rather the place be empty, you know, because we have went in places and you could tell that the owners are still there, like they're still living there, but you know they weren't there physically. I guess they had, you know, rented a hotel room or you know whatever out for the day or whatever, but you know all of their stuff is like still in the house, and you can get an idea of like how big the rooms are if people like leave their beds in there and stuff. You can, you know, kind of get an idea of how big everything is when there's like a little bit of furniture left in the place. But I just didn't like the fact that the owners were there. But I mean, it's interesting, you know, looking at different properties and different neighborhoods and stuff. Um, I'm enjoying that part of it. Um, I just want it to be over. So yeah, it was awkward. It really was awkward, you know, and you know, I don't want to say that these people were hoarders, but it was just a lot going on in the house. You know, the house was like cluttered, and you know, all of their stuff. Like I like to go to places where you can tell the house has been staged. You know, you can tell that it's their stuff, but you could tell they've taken out a lot of the people's stuff, and the house is staged. So it's only like a little bit of furniture. The kitchen is basically clean. Like you could tell they, you know, the appliances and stuff are not on the counter. So you can see how much counter space you have, all that kind of stuff. Like I want the house to be staged. I don't want to walk in and, you know, it's cluttered and the people are there. I don't know. That was awkward. And you know, you don't want to be looking at people's stuff, and I'm one of them type of people, like I don't have a poker face when I don't like something. You know, you can literally see it in my face that, you know, I don't like it. And you know, like I don't want to be rude to like the people. I don't want, you know, them to think that, you know, I was a rude person or whatever, but I specifically didn't like the house. And maybe if the house had been clean and, you know, not cluttered, um but I didn't like their backyard. The backyard was like super small. And that is one thing that we do want is a nice size backyard. So that was just one place that we really didn't like. Like I don't mind places still having furniture in them if they're staged and it's neat. You know what I mean? And clean. Um, but if it's not, then yeah, no, I don't like that. Paris said I sold my house a couple of months ago. The only furniture was my bed and desk, fresh paint and cleaner than it ever was. It sold in one day above asking. Most places are selling well above asking now. Well above asking. And I mean, to me, if you come into a place and it's clean and it's neat, that, you know, shows me that the seller is really serious. But if I come into a place and it just don't even look like they tried, like they just packed up their stuff and left and didn't even clean the place, then, you know, we're looking at it like, God, we're gonna have to come in and do a whole lot of work before we can even get settled. Like, that's not it. Like, I want the place to be, move in ready. Of course, you're gonna come in and do a thorough cleaning before you move in, but you don't want to have to come in and replace the bathtub, replace fixtures, replace sinks, and you know remove paneling from walls and all of that kind of stuff. Like, you don't want to have to do all that. You just want to come in and clean and be able to move your furniture in and um be happy. Like, I'm willing to do certain things, like, of course, buy a refrigerator and stove and that kind of stuff. But like, I don't want to have to replace cabinets and bathtubs and medicine cabinets and all of that kind of stuff just to move in. Remodel the bathroom before we even move in. Like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to do that after, we get in and be settled. And then we can start, okay, well, let's redo this bathroom, or, not have to do it. Like, that is not like the, like, number one priority. Thank you, Cube. So, um, we're in no rush. That's one good thing. We're not in a rush. You know, we're going to take it slow and find a place that we really want to be in. And I just, feel like things happen when they're supposed to. You know, I have faith in God that, things are going to happen. If He did it for others, He got to do it for me. I'm one of His kids too. So I just have to wait my turn. You know, in life, patience is something that we have to exercise and understand. And maybe this is, one of my lessons in patience. When you wait, um, things happen. I don't want to jump into something just because we want to move. No, I want to wait and, find the place that we really want to be in. The good thing is both me and my husband do agree about, certain things: closet space, bedroom space, backyard space. The kitchen, he don't really care, because how much time is he really going to spend in the kitchen? Like, my husband is not one of those men that, enjoys cooking. Cooking is not his thing. I don't like to cook a whole lot, but when I get a notion to cook, I want the kitchen to, be decent. Like, I can cook. I'm not one of those women that, I ain't Betty Crocker. I don't, cook every day. Like, I don't want to do that. But when I get a notion to cook, I want the kitchen to be, decent. So, we do agree that, we both want a decent backyard. We want a decent sized garage. We have a big car, so we do need a decent garage. And plus, he wants to, part of the garage to be the gym. So, um, there's certain things that we both agree on. So, we just gonna wait. It's gonna happen. I believe it's gonna happen. And we're gonna wait for it to happen. And that's that. So, I'm glad a few of you. Oh yeah, of course, a fenced in yard. Um, for Gizmo. So he can, go in the back and play and have a good time like he does here. I mean, and Gizmo's funny. Like, here he will go outside and play, but he wants to come in after he does what he does and run around for a little while. He wants to come in the house. If a fly anywhere near him, or a bee or anything, Gizmo be like, "Oh, I gotta go. There's too much going on out here. Let me go back in the house." He's so spoiled. So come here, Poochie. Come here. Come say hi. Gizmo, you heard me. Come here, Poop. Gizmo, come here. Come here, Poochie. Come here. Go in here. Get your toy. Come on. Jump. There him is with his. What'd you get this for? Your birthday? I think so. I think he got this for his birthday. With his little birthday toy that he's been carrying around with him everywhere. So I just want him to say hi to y'all, because y'all be like, "Where Gizmo?" Yeah, he a runner too. He runs around in the backyard like he'll do a couple of donuts, and then he be ready to go in the house. Cause Gizmo a little old man. He only gonna run so much, and then he be ready to go. And he like, "Let's go in the house." That's it. I didn't did my 2 or 3 laps for the day. I think I may go outside and walk around a little bit. Oh, we got watermelon. I'm gonna go get me a piece of watermelon and probably eat that. Since I ate that Burger King yesterday, I really don't want to eat uh, anything too heavy. That thing was heavy. For it to be an impossible Whopper, it was still heavy. And I did read the stats on that Impossible Whopper. It was not, it wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, you would have had to take it down to basically the patty and some bread. You got to get rid of the mayonnaise. You got to get rid of really get rid of the bun for it to have been remotely healthy, because the sodium is still high. What else was high? I think even the cholesterol. It was a lot. I read the stats and I was like, damn, I could have had a real burger for this. The sodium was just as high. The fat content was, I think, only like 25 points lower on that than it was a regular Whopper. It was ridiculous. So that's definitely something. But see, I don't eat Burger King that often anyway. Yeah, I saw that um mustard. I don't know, like, I guess mustard on watermelon would be like a sweet and tangy type situation. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna try it because I'm not really a mustard person. I don't really like mustard like that. So the only time I eat mustard is on hot dogs, and I have to mix it with ketchup to take some of that mustardy taste away. I'm not really a mustard person, so I really don't think that I would like it, because I think that you would get too much of the mustard flavor, and I don't like the flavor of mustard. So I don't even think that that's probably something that I would even try. Because I'm not one of those people that really like stuff on um my watermelon. I just like to eat it plain. I mean, some people like to put salt on theirs, or I think my father-in-law puts vinegar on his watermelon. I don't know why. I think that's a Louisiana thing. I don't like anything on mine. I just like the taste of watermelon. It's good by itself. You don't have to add anything to it. Like I do like to make juice with watermelon and mint. So you just put some chunks of watermelon into your juicer with fresh mint, or into your blender. You can put it in your Ninja, some chunks of watermelon and some fresh mint, and blend that up and put like some ice or whatever in there. Oh, but other than that, I don't want anything with my watermelon but watermelon. So I will see you guys later. I do have another video, so look out for that. But that's that. I love you guys. Oh, I was gonna say, how do you cut this thing? I ain't did this in so long. I don't even know how to cut it off. I love you guys. If we do go and check out some houses this weekend, we'll probably do a video and let you guys know. So I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.